Welcome back to Golf Extra. Rory McIlRoy has been one of the world's top golfers for over a decade. The lovable player from Northern Ireland has racked up a total of 35 professional wins in his career, including 23 of those on the PGA Tour. In addition, he's won a total of 4 majors during his career and has established himself as a one-of-a-kind player among his peers. More recently, he's become a sort of spokesperson for the PGA Tour in its ongoing battle with LIV Golf, both supporting his fellow players and casting some shots across the bow to the LIV Golf leadership. But what do those golf legends and current players have to say about McIlRoy in return? The answer will definitely surprise you. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this one. Now, let's get right into what pro golfers and golf legends really think about Rory McIlRoy. By 2013, McIlRoy had already won 2 majors and established himself as one of the most promising young golfers in the game. However, he had begun to come under fire for a series of poor play, a heavily discussed change of clubs, and an incident where he walked off the course mid-tournament at the Honda Classic. With Rory under this criticism, veteran English golfer Lee Westwood voiced his support for the young Northern Irishman, saying, "When things are going wrong, golf is a lonely, very lonely game. Golf is a sport that mentally pushes you to the limit. You have so much time to think about it, it just winds you up. It has taken me to some dark places over the years, but I tend to block them out now. I admit, though, that I definitely felt like walking off the course at times. Rory's a quick learner, he won't do it again, and I believe Rory has the capability to win 10 majors." Those are some strong words of support for Rory. While McIlRoy hasn't won his 10 majors yet, he's still currently stuck at a total of 4. He has become a veteran, much like Westwood was when he made those comments in 2013. With that veteran status came an added confidence and an ability to speak on certain issues in the golf world. This ended up getting him back in the news alongside his former mentor Westwood, but not quite as jovially as before. When Westwood and some other European players were contemplating skipping PGA Tour events in the midst of the 2020 coronavirus pandemic, McIlRoy had little sympathy for them, saying, "If you really care about your career and care about moving forward, you should be here. It's not a hardship." This was not well received by the players in question, and Westwood led the charge in responding by saying, "I did send Rory a text and we had a little chat about his comments. He's probably had a rethink. It seems like the rest of the world's treating the pandemic more seriously than the United States. Rory's entitled to his opinion, but what he fails to explain in there is that only a handful of European Tour players are eligible for those PGA Tour events." The animosity didn't stop there. Westwood would later defect to the LIV Tour in 2022 among several other golfers, and many PGA golfers were upset with the defectors. However, the PGA Tour, led by Tiger Woods and McIlRoy, came up with some ideas to shorten events and to use smaller fields to make more exciting events. This was met with general derision from the LIV Tour players, especially Westwood, who noted the similarity of the changes to what LIV had already done. "I laugh at what the PGA Tour players have come up with. It's just a copy of what LIV is doing. There are a lot of hypocrites out there. They all say LIV is not competitive. Now, funnily enough, they are proposing 20 events that look a lot like LIV. Hopefully, at some point, they will all choke on their words, and hopefully, they'll be held to account as we were in the early days." Yikes! That's quite the turn from his early friendly comments towards McIlRoy, but these are far from the worst things that someone on the LIV Tour has had to say about Rory. Greg Norman, nicknamed the Shark, is one of the most successful golfers in golf history. Although he was only able to win 2 majors in his career, he was constantly in contention and won more than 80 other professional tournaments. More recently, though, he has become known for leading the LIV Golf organization and making plenty of enemies along the way, McIlRoy included. Even after the two reportedly commiserated about their respective collapses at the Masters, Norman had little good to say about McIlRoy and his unwavering support for his home organization, saying that McIlRoy was brainwashed by the PGA Tour. It was no surprise that McIlRoy wasn't exactly thrilled to hear this. He fired back immediately, letting his plans for the future be known. "I'm like, for F's sake, we've had this really nice back and forth and he says that about me? I thought, you know what? I'm going to make it my business now to be as much of a pain in his ass as possible. So much as I'm anti-LIV, I feel that PGA Tour have got lucky that Greg Norman has fronted this up. I think if they had found someone less polarizing, LIV could have made more inroads." Whoa! You might think that this has already gotten a little bit out of hand, but Norman had one final shot to get in. After a reported meeting with PGA Tour star Justin Thomas, Norman made some taunting remarks towards McIlroy, saying, "Our door is open for everybody. We're not the PGA Tour. We're not like that. We exist for the players, so we will always have an open door, whether that's for Rory or Jordan Spieth or Justin Thomas or whoever. Rory and Tiger have no idea what they're talking about, none whatsoever. They're trying to bait me to draw me into a public back and forth with them, and I'm not going down that childish path. We don't know about you, but we'll be keeping track of this feud. Seems that there will be more fireworks in the future." We've already mentioned Justin Thomas, who's a star in his own right on the PGA Tour. He had some words of his own about Rory McIlroy, but unlike the recent comments made by Lee Westwood and Greg Norman, Thomas's words were those of unconditional support. There's nobody that, I think, acts better, acts more humble, and more grounded for what they've done and who they are than him. I would hope the guys look up to him. I know he's accomplished a lot more than I have. He's been out here longer. He's been more successful. I remember being a rookie and moving down to Jupiter, Florida, and he was out at Bears Club. Being the person I am, wanting to learn, going up to him and saying, "Hey, I'd love to play sometime," introduced myself, and he's like, "Anytime," and gave me his number, and we kind of hit it off. We're very similar personalities. For me, I definitely think the other people should look up to someone like him. That's the Rory that we all know and love. But there's one more golfer on our list who had something quite interesting to say. Tiger Woods needs no introduction. Undoubtedly the greatest golfer of the modern generation, his words carry an incredible amount of weight to both golfers and the general public. So, what did he have to say about Rory? What Rory has said and done are what leaders do. Rory's a true leader out here on our tour. The fact that he's actually able to get the things he said out in the public eye, be so clear-minded with it, and so eloquent with it, meanwhile go out there and win golf tournaments on top of that, people have no idea how hard that is to do, to be able to separate those two things. He's a great leader in our calls we make, and he's a great leader with all the players out here. Everyone respects him, and they respect him because not just his ball striking, his driving, but the person he is. That's high praise from the GOAT himself. Of course, the two have a joint venture together that we mentioned earlier, so we can bet that there is going to be some more Rory-Tiger collaboration in the future. So, which one of these golf legends do you agree with about Rory McIlroy? Are you on the LIV side with Lee Westwood and Greg Norman, or the PGA side with Tiger and Justin Thomas? Be sure to leave us a comment with what you think down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you can watch our latest content updates as soon as they drop. We'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day.